Hi, everybody. It's Karen Eriksson-Lee for our final interview question with Michelle Smeltzer from Department of Social Services, who is our county's community liaison. And I just wanted to, before we go into how we can help, I'm just throwing this question at you. But I know that when we lived in Pennsylvania, there was a shelter we would volunteer at sometimes for their community events. We'd help with different things. And they were year round. Is that something that Front Royal would like to do? Or, I mean, it's a blessing that there is a shelter right now with this weather that we've had.
Right.
But, it seems to me like a really short window that and I know that I'm sure it has to do with funding and staffing and everything else that under the sun. But I'm just curious if that's something that you're looking for, maybe community support for to have on a
So
permanent
we
basis.
would love a year-round shelter. That would be great. Funding, of course, would be our number one. Our number two is location.
Yes.
We really struggle with location. We're very fortunate and blessed to be with where we are at the Front Royal Presbyterian Church.
Mhm.
But we're open for 4 months, and it costs us about $2,700 a week to run
Wow.
just an overnight shelter for 4 months.
Wow.
And that's mostly payroll. We of course have insurance, and we have a van that we, have maintenance on and that kind of thing. But most of our money goes to payroll. And I think it would be very difficult for us to find a place that would allow us to be there year round. A community, I mean, everybody wants a shelter, but no one wants it next
In
door.
the neighborhood. Yeah.
So we do struggle with that. And then, there's not a lot of funding for low barrier shelters.
Mhm.
So, there's no government funding for them. And we don't have local funding, government funding.
Mhm.
So our funding comes from just some local grants. They're smaller grants,
Mhm.
and then support by the community. I mean,
Mhm.
just fundraisers that we're not great at because we just don't have the staff to do it.
Sure. Sure.
But and then just donations. So that's that's how we live, is by donations. And so our number one need is financial. Number
Okay.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah, with that kind, we go into every year hoping that there's never really a cushion at the end of
Yeah.
the season.
Yeah.
So while we're in season, while we're working, we try to use Facebook and social media to let people know what our needs are,
Mhm.
that kind of thing. But the main thing for us is maybe churches doing a like a giving Sunday, and they just their offerings are just for us, or
Yes.
something like that.
Mhm.
But the
Are there churches that do that presently or?
yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Okay.
And there are churches that just every year give like a week's worth of what
Funds.
our payroll is,
Wonderful. Yeah.
stuff like that. So yes, and then we have, there's the civic organizations, there's the Rotaries and the Elks and the
Mhm.
Moose, and all the Kiwanis and all those that they
Yeah.
all every year give
Chip in and yeah.
something to us. Yes. So we're very fortunate in that regard. But to be open all year long, I would love to be able to have a shelter that's open during the day, that people can, have a place where they can go and get a job and come home. They can work nights and be able to come back and sleep during the day
Mhm.
until they get back on their feet. And it's
Mhm.
just, here it's just really challenging. So we have
Mhm.
this small window that we can work in. And
Mhm.
that's why one of the reasons why we changed our name, because it kind of broadened, if we ever get to that point where we can kind of expand out a little bit, we'd love to do that.
Yes, okay. Are they open where you are now? Are they open to having you there longer if that
So,
funding worked or?
we haven't really talked about that. It's a year to year thing. This is our
Okay.
third year
Yeah.
there. So will we be there next year? I don't know.
Okay.
It's a year. It's a year to year.
Year
So,
to year. Okay.
and if we're not there, I have no idea where we'd be. It's
Okay.
one
We
of
just
those things
rely on
that,
God's grace.
yeah.
In the immediate, are there certain things? So I know that like organizations and families could make dinner, and it's normally like how many do you have 35 there now? Like what is the norm?
No, no, we haven't reached 35 a night yet.
Okay.
What we do have is we're usually about 25 to 30, and that includes people that live in their cars and don't want to stay at the shelter. Some
Okay.
people just are not comfortable in that environment. They live in
Okay.
their car, and so they come for dinner, and they'll come in and they'll have dinner,
Okay.
and then they leave.
Okay.
So we do allow people to do that.
To do that. That's
Yeah,
nice.
because it's nice to be able. We're very blessed with lots of food.
That's
And
wonderful.
so it is when people make food for us, it's always good and plenty of it. And they come in and they get seconds and,
That's
a dessert.
wonderful.
It's a nice, well balanced meal usually. And so,
And
we're,
is there a like do you have a sign up portal or something? How do people they
oh,
just
yes.
yes.
So we do have, it's a volunteer sign up sheet that is on our Facebook page.
Okay.
And and then when people email me, they'll email me and say, hey, what's the link to that? And I just send it through
And
email to
okay.
that's it.
Well,
Yeah.
maybe you could email that to me and I'll add
Okay.
that in the newsletter with these
Okay.
interview links would be great. And then I know last year, and I know I had shared we want to do it again, but our nonprofit with our dance families, we brought 25 because I think at the time you had 20 or 25 clients there, uh,
Mhm.
bags with some personal items and hand
Right.
warmers and things like that. Is that always a need, sort of toothpaste and toothbrushes and hand warmers? And I think we put socks in there and hats. And I don't know. Or is there something, what specifically, if someone wanted, because,
So
yeah,
we have received quite a bit of things like that.
personal. Okay.
We just got a huge donation of hand warmers, and I don't know exactly
Amazing.
where they came from, but I mean, a lot of
That's wonderful.
a donation of the little beanie caps and the
Yes.
gloves, and so like boxes of them. So I mean, we're good with things like that. I think one thing that we don't have many of is rain ponchos. So when it
Okay.
rains, they're it's always nice to have those, and we don't
Okay.
have any of them right now. Um, and
Okay. That's good to know.
they're inexpensive, but those rain ponchos are nice. And
I think we
and
can
then
definitely do that. And what else?
yeah,
Yeah.
and then like a $5 gift card to McDonald's so they can go
Oh,
in.
and we did that last time I did them to, Dunkin' Donuts.
Yeah, or
Be
that, anywhere they can go in and get a cup of coffee and sit for a
coffee.
little while. We
Yes.
had a lot of them last year. We had a big donation of those last year. Of course, we don't have them this year.
Yeah.
That was
Okay,
nice because
good,
they could
yeah.
go get out of the cold with that.
Alright, so maybe rain ponchos for us, I'm thinking, specifically rain ponchos and, gift cards to not dollar, to, McDonald's or Dunkin' Donuts. Yeah,
Right.
and
And we
maybe
always need paper towels, and we
okay.
always need powdered lemonade and powdered iced tea. We go
Oh,
through tons of that. Oh, and
okay.
hot chocolate.
Oh, these are
They
all
love hot
good
chocolate.
things. Ye
So
one
those are the things that we
that
go
you
through a
really need.
ton of. Yes.
Okay. Okay, wonderful. That's so helpful, because we wanna do what you need and not yeah, so that's fantastic. Well, my gosh, thank you so much for sharing everything with us today that you did, and I hope that people that might get this who really do need some help in our county or in their own counties search out either a liaison or just call Department of Social Services and just find out
Right.
in what ways they can help, or who they, like you, connect them with other organizations that might be able to fill in the gaps for people
Right.
that kind of fall through the cracks because
Right. Yes.
know,
Because you don't know until you ask, what
that's-
is out there. A lot of people just
yeah,
said, I had no idea
yeah,
any of this existed.
yeah.
So,
I think it's wonderful. I didn't realize everything you're doing either, so I'm grateful to find that out. But thank you so much, Michelle.
well, thanks
And
for having me.
yeah, and if we want to drop off, we can. Is there a good time to make a drop off at the shelter?
So usually there's someone there from 5:30 p.m. on.
Okay, great.
But if people aren't comfortable with that, 'cause it's dark, I think by then, they can always drop off at Social Services, which is
Okay.
465 West 15th Street,
I mean,
9 to 5,
okay.
Monday through Friday, and just say it's for HARTS, and they collect it.
Okay.
We go get them and take them over to the shelter. So
Perfect. Wonderful. All right. Well, thank you so much, and
thank
we'll
you.
see you around town.
Okay.
Thank
Thanks a
you.
lot.
God bless. Bye.
Bye-bye.